is the 6th time that I call Laura. I know it might be a little excessive, calling 6 times in one day. Still, I need to know she's okay. Laura enters the Zoom, but I can tell something isn't right. I can tell because she's doing that thing when she's angling her face away from the camera.
Hi, Mum.
And I can hear it in her voice, shaky. And even though at 33 she's a grown adult, she suddenly sounds like she's 8 years old again.
I'm fine.
Okay.
It's just...
No, don't. You'll make me cry, and there will just be 2 crying women on Zoom, and that's completely useless, isn't it?
I'm fine, it's just my mum.
How's David?
He keeps checking up on me, but not that there's much he can do. I mean, I'm here and you're there and she's dead.
Laura, I know you're upset, but we have to be realistic.
Realistic?
She was a 15-year-old pug. How about? It always made you feel better?
When I was 8.
What was that thing you always said? Esforços consacios.
It's enterios codicios.
What does that mean?
Well, I made it up. Time travel, but it doesn't work.
Enterios codicios.
No, you're not doing it right.
Then show me.
Okay. It's enterios codicios
codicios
and
time is a funny thing. The way it moves, stretches, changes. The way a memory from 10 years ago can suddenly feel like yesterday if you think about it long enough. Laura and I can't really time travel, not literally at least. Instead, we just remember. I remind her of the first time we ever laid eyes on our pug, Cheese.
Look at her little ears! Have you got her ears?
Oh, they're really soft.
Her little face! Oh. Did you see when Dad walked in? She followed him into the room like she owned the place. He's sold. He wants to do a family photo shoot with her tonight.
I'm sure he does.
On Gumtree, I knew it. She was the one.
She's very cute.
I googled her. It was me.
And because of that, I think you should be her mum.
I can't be her mum. I'm a different species.
What I mean is, she needs a focal point. She needs to know this is a person who walks me, feeds me, trains me, bathes me.
Yeah, well, you've got more of a maternal vibe. That night we did a photo shoot with Cheese around the dinner table. Mum, Dad and me. Each of us holding her in our arms as she slept. Sometimes I wish I could stay in that memory forever. But I can't. First I moved to London. Then Dad died. And suddenly the triangle that I'd known for my entire life became more like well, it wasn't really a shape. It was Mum and Cheese in one place and me in another. So I did the natural thing. I spent as much time in Spain as possible. And when I wasn't there, I was calling Mum like this.
Have you not had dinner?
I had dinner in 2 parts. This is part 2.
You've got to be careful. Small people run the risk of gaining weight and becoming just head, arse and nothing else.
Thanks, Mum.
You know who else needs to watch out?
Who?
A certain overweight pug.
Oh.
She's getting older. You should see her on our walks. I have to drag her fat little body.
Oh, come here, Cheese. Come here.
She doesn't like it.
What?
Your voice. She doesn't know where it's coming from.
Oh, well, I'm coming to see her next week anyway.
Again?
Yeah, I need to get back to my easy Spanish summers. Writing in the mornings, going for long walks.
What about your job?
What about it?
You take a lot of time off.
I'm on a 0-hour contract.
Will they not get annoyed?
It's just a bartending job.
A job is a job, and you should take pride in it, Laura.
Okay, Mum.
But what about your friends? Do you not fancy going to pubs or?
I don't really drink.
Since when?
Also, it's boring. Going out is boring.
So you really want to spend another summer with your mum?
That's how I want to spend all my summers.
What about a boy?
Don't.
Every jar has a lid.
Yeah, you keep saying that, but I'm fairly sure mine doesn't.
How do you know?
I'm fairly sure my jar is just a very strange, unusual shape that won't fit any lid ever. A palm reader told me.
A palm reader?
She grabbed my hand and tried to find my love line or whatever, and it wasn't there. It's non-existent.
And I'm guessing this was a proper certified palm reader?
Psychic Paula. She did drama at Goldsmiths. Everyone knew her because of her gift, and she was right. I'm 31, and the longest relationship I've had to date lasted, what, a month?
I wouldn't put my bets on Psychic Paula.
The thing is, I'm fine just like this. Like, some people are relationship people, others are not, and that's fine.
You've got to think about building your unit.
You're my unit.
The truth is, every jar does have a lid, even Laura's. It was July 2018, and Laura was in London for a change. She met David at his one-man show in some trendy theatre. I wasn't there at the time, obviously, but this is how I imagine him. David talks with intensity. He has a chiselled character face like this. And from my understanding, this was their first date.
I really loved your show.
Oh, thank you.
It reminded me of early Beckett.
One of my favourites.
Mine too. Yeah, there was something nostalgic about it.
Well, the show is basically one long memory from my childhood, which is gone now, naturally.
Naturally.
Well, I should hope so. I hope I'm not some overgrown child sitting in front of you.
Oh, you look like an adult.
I am 44, so
Oh,
you knew that.
I thought you were 30.
30? Can I quote you on that? Sorry, dad joke. I'm not a dad, by the way. I'm just old.
Oh, that's good.
Do you not like kids?
Oh, no. Sorry, I didn't mean... You're very intense on the eye contact. I like your handbag.
Oh, this is a Buddhist tote bag. I got it from Colombo, Sri Lanka, where I lived for 2 years, a long time ago, when I was in my 30s.
Yeah, funny. I travel to Spain a lot. Yeah, my mum and pug live there. Do you like pugs?
Do they taste good?
What?
I don't really like animals unless they taste good.
Oh, well, that's a bit...
Sorry, you're a vegan. You like animals.
Yeah, I love animals.
But have you tried this chorizo croquette?
No, I can't.
I understand, but trust me, this is divine.
I haven't eaten meat in 10 years.
Then you should certainly try this.
No, really, it would be...
Just a small bite.
I can't.
A little teeny bite.
Okay, fine.
Told you.
It was one of the best things I'd tasted in my life. The next day I rang Mum.
So you approached him first?
Yeah, I watched his show and then introduced myself.
You should always let a man come to you.
Oh, Mum, don't.
If a man likes you, he'll come to you. If he doesn't...
What?
Remember Alex? You approached Alex first. Look how that went. Alex wouldn't even show you the house he bought.
Alex was depressed. And
He was depressed. It's just an excuse men use.
the thing is...
And please don't sleep with him right away.
Mum!
Remember Thomas? I swear you took that boy's virginity.
Oh my God.
You're always too keen. Nana agrees.
Please stop discussing my sex life with Nana.
We may be traditional, but some things never change. Men will always be men, Laura, no matter what.
Well, this is different.
Different?
Yeah, he changes things in me. Oh, I don't know.
In August 2018, Laura sits in a walk-in clinic in Finchley with a nurse who has a pen behind her ear like this. So what's the issue?
My guts are moving.
Moving?
Yeah, at night when I look down at my tummy, I can see them slowly rising and lowering.
And what have you been eating?
Steak on Tuesday, beef bourguignon on Wednesday, Fragua, this really nice French restaurant, on Thursday.
Is this your usual diet?
Oh, well, I was vegan for almost 10 years up until last month.
Quite a drastic change then.
Have you ever denied yourself something for so long that when you finally get a taste of it, you just go, like, all the way? You suddenly, after so long, allow yourself to fully indulge in this completely new aspect of your life without a single hesitation?
Well, no. In September 2018, Laura's friends also notice a difference, particularly Celeste. Celeste wears a necklace that says, "Fuck the Tories," in gold cursive, and has a pink tote bag with vaginas stenciled on it.
You don't think I look too 1950s Hausfrau, do you?
Because you're wearing a dress.
Well, the thing is, I used to live in my jeans, but now, dressing like this, I actually kind of like it. Do you think I've become one of those women that dresses for men?
You're just peacocking.
Peacocking?
Yeah, that's fine. I like David. Besides, you've both got similar facial features, which means you're genetically compatible. So fair enough. Ta-ra!
Oh, ta-ra! In October 2018, David invites me to a Nan Goldin exhibition. I quickly look up Nan Goldin and respond, "Yes, I love her." We walk through the exhibition. I hover behind David. Then realise I should be more independent, find my own photos to look at. I'm not sure of the appropriate amount of time that I should be giving each image. I look across the room and see David staring at me, full gaze, without the slightest hesitation. I look back at a photo of a woman sat on a bed, mascara leaking down her face, smoking a cigarette. She looks at me and says,
"There's nothing more terrifying than a man who's certain about you."
I tell David I need to eat. He laughs and says I get like a teenage girl when I'm hungry. We leave the exhibition and find a pub that does Chinese food. I order spring rolls, prawn crackers, and fried dumplings, eat them all while dipping them into a fluorescent pink sweet and sour sauce. David sips his beer and says,
"We do it once a year. My family, some close friends, rent a holiday flat in Dover.
Right,
We don't have to stay with them. We can stay in a separate hotel.
I don't mind.
But I'd like you to meet them."
As your girlfriend. On the way to Dover, I let David do everything. He finds the tickets, finds a place to have coffee. He finds the platform and tells us when we should board. I even let him pick the seats. I just sit back, look out the window, and suddenly feel like a child again, sitting in the back seat of my family car during a road trip, listening to the Backstreet Boys on my bright blue Sony Walkman, without a worry in sight. And days later, I phoned Mum.
"You've never brought anyone home before."
I know.
"Will you want to do touristy things?"
No, we just want to eat, sleep, relax.
"Guessing we won't be able to go shopping."
Neither won't mind.
"Laura, no man wants to sit and watch two women try on endless things at Zara."
Seriously, it'll be fine.
"Oh, will you like cheese?"
I think so.
"You think so?"
David calls cheese dog. He says it feels more authentic.
"Cheese won't care, as long as he's not an arsehole."
He's not an asshole.
"Will he get bored with just me?"
He's not a nuclear family guy, Mum. His dad's dead too.
I meet Laura and David at the airport. We walked to my car. Laura asked David if he'd like to sit in the front with me so he can see the views as we drive home. David says he'd prefer to sit in the back. We drop our bags at home, decide to go into town for some pre-dinner drinks. The first bits of conversation are strained until I suddenly remember an awful family photo shoot that somebody put on Facebook. I get the photos up on my phone and show them to David. David really takes them in, zooming in and out as he starts to laugh. From that moment, things are easier. On the last day, we have lunch on the beach. David mentions he always goes home for Christmas. It's a sensitive time with his family, he says. To which I reply, Laura will go with you.
Really?
Just another day for me.
You sure? It's strange spending Christmas at someone else's family. At home, I'd be flat out on the sofa, watching endless episodes of The Bachelor, stuffing my face with crisps. Cheese sat next to me, staring and salivating. This year, I sit up on the sofa without putting my feet in. I offer to do the dishes and the cooking. I agree to watch all the appropriate Christmas television. I even asked when might be the best time to shower. David's mum mentions how it must be so nice for her to have a daughter at home who helps out. She doesn't know what kind of animal I really am. I excuse myself and FaceTime Mum.
Nothing new here? Cheese has gotten fatter?
Well, I can imagine.
You like my Christmas decorations?
Nice, very minimalist.
Well, I never was in the market for the whole over-the-top thing.
Yeah, I actually prefer the mini tree look.
What's it like there?
The tree is enormous.
Wow. I was thinking of buying you a desk for Christmas for your room.
Oh yeah?
You've always wanted one.
Still do.
But now that you're with David, you probably won't be visiting as much on your own. You'll probably come together. So with David's job, that will only be for a few days. So I doubt you'll do much writing.
Well, I'll still come on my own sometimes.
That won't be nice for him.
Well, he'll like the break from me.
But what I mean is, you won't be visiting for weeks at a time like you used to. So there's really no point in getting you a desk here.
I'd still like a desk. Even if it's only for a few days, I still like to write in the mornings.
Just think about what else you might want. So nothing new happening there?
Not really.
Okay, well...
Would you think it was weird if I got engaged? Huh? Mum is relatively unfazed by this engagement thing, which works for me. I can't really handle the screaming, squealing hysteria. We joke about having cheese as a bridesmaid, and she mentions something about how David loves me and that's what matters, and also how marriage isn't really that big of a commitment if you think about it. It's not like having kids or buying a house together in
Brighton?
Yeah, it's not that far.
Is it commutable?
Well, David's keeping his room here in London because the rent's cheap. So we'll just be there most weekends and then the summer.
The summer?
Yeah, you should come visit.
Laura, I doubt David will want his mother-in-law hanging around all summer.
Silly. You should see the view.
Laura, the logistics.
We just love it here, okay? And we want to get on the property ladder, and London is just so...
So you'll be spending your summers there?
Mum comes to visit, and she buys us a high-end waffle maker for the flat. Months later, it's March 2020. David and I sit in a Korean street food restaurant in London, Bone Daddy's. David's streaming the BBC News app on his phone as we eat at the bar and listen to Boris Johnson making another speech.
More and more families are going to lose loved ones before their time.
David makes a scared face and then laughs as he finishes his spicy pork noodles. I poke my finger into the soft, fluffy bit of my bao bun, then look at David. Should we be worried?
No.
What about our families?
They'll be fine.
You're not scared?
My school is talking about closing down till September.
Are you serious?
Which means virtually 6 months working at home from Brighton. which in a way is what I've always wanted.
I don't care about the cancelled projects, not being able to go out for dinner, not seeing friends, the plummeting economy. I don't care about missing holidays, being at home all the time, the queues at Aldi's. The only thing I care about is...
The first few weeks, Laura phones me non-stop. I try and calm her down. Of course she'll see me again. This isn't forever. I'm just happy she has David and a nice flat. I'm happy she's in good health. I tell her to buy a desk from IKEA or somewhere so she can write or structure her days, so she can stop worrying about the future. Of course, I forget that Laura is awful at assembling flat pack furniture. She calls while sitting in a sea of white painted wood. Then things calm down. She gets the hang of it, until I have to make the following call.
Can't they do something, like an MRI, something like that?
An MRI?
I might be able to see what's going on and then perform, I don't know.
Brain surgery on a 15-year-old pug.
You can't just do nothing.
Laura, she's exhausted. She can't even take a nap. She's been up since 5 a.m. yesterday. Every time she closes her eyes, they say it's only going to get worse. What do you want us to do?
I could go over there.
That the borders are closed.
According to who?
The Spanish government?
Well, this is a family emergency. There are loopholes.
Not for this, Laura.
Look, I'm on this Facebook group, right? It's called Spanish and Living in the UK. There are people here still travelling over.
Well, I'm on the official government page and...
This post, Maria Valles, going to Spain tomorrow, borders not really closed. This is just media lies to scare people.
Right.
And the other one, Jose Rolls, says, no problem, travel and get documents. Okay, it's not a safe link. Look, can't you just come here?
I can't.
Come to Brighton, bring cheese. You could drive?
That night, Cheese dies in my arms. Something about it feels strangely peaceful. I call Laura the next morning. She doesn't take it very well. I keep on calling until I know she's okay. And on my 6th call...
Enterios, codicios,
and so Enterios, codicios, and
we can't actually time travel, Mum.
Laura.
It doesn't feel like it's just Cheese dying. It's everything. Everything dies. Cheese, Dad, my childhood. And then one day you'll... I can't even say it.
Maybe you should.
I love David, I do, but if it wasn't for him being in my life right now, I'd be there in Spain with you.
I'm glad you're not.
What?
Laura, this is life. This is natural. People get partners, they start new families, they move on. And in a way, it makes me so much happier to know you've got a future with someone.
I don't think I could ever say goodbye.
You won't have to.
How?
Because you are a time traveller. We both are. Shall we go see Cheese again?